another live radio link-up brought to you by the Government Communications, GCIS.
Well, the time is 8 minutes past 6. And it's Wednesday evening, and it's that time of the evening when we are saying your date with the rainwater is happening. We have started with these programs with the entity of the Department of Water and Sanitation, Rainwater. Tonight, as usual, we are not alone. Ritswere Untate Justice Mohale, who is the spokesperson of Rainwater. Welcome once again, Untate Justice, to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me once again on this very important topic.
Well, there you are. My name is Lennox Glass saying, last week we did not understand the seriousness of this program until people started asking all these questions, and the feedback we're getting from the client. They feel we only scratched the surface. That's why, as a matter of fact, tonight we're revisiting the topic of last week, informal encroachment. Justice once again is going to recap what is it that we're talking about when we talk about informal encroachment. Yeah. Justice is going to talk to us what is it that we're talking about when we say there are beacons that we should use to tell us that we cannot do this and that. Chief Justice is going to tell us what are the effects of these encroachments. Yeah. We are extending the invitation to you to say, please make use of that number. Make use of that number. Our toll-free number is 0800 142 446. The number again, 0800 142 446. At this point, Untate Justice, let's kick the ball rolling.
Yeah.
When we say informal settlements, what are we talking about? Before we even begin to introduce encroachment, when we talk of informal settlements, what are we talking about?
Informal encroachment.
No. Let's take...
No, informal encroachment.
No, I'm saying we are talking about informal encroachment, meaning that the encroachment that takes place at this particular...
Thank you very much. When we talk of informal encroachment, that's when we talk about groups of people, be it one person or groups of people, who go to an open piece of land and start building their own homes. These homes may be illegally constructed, and this is unplanned and unapproved by the authorities. But zamaya batola a piece of land, a setsa, and then from there batomo aha dintlo tsa bona ba nemile ba dira hore get their homes, whether it's permanent or on temporary basis. Ho bantsha batho bana ho ba boima ho rena Rainwater ka lebaka la hore Rainwater haina large tracts of land mo ile horeng when it removes them it will take them to those places. And haribolela ke batho ba ile horeng these are very vulnerable communities. And in most cases, the places that they stay in, it's unregulated, and bongata ba bona abazi nokuthi la bahlala khona dangerous in the sense yakuthi there's a large pipeline running underground. with volumes and volumes of water, which may cause chaos in case of a pipe burst. And again, le hore maphelo a batho a ka ba in danger ha pipe e tsamayang ka mo fatshe that's running underground can burst.
Justice, tell me, but before I ask you this question, I think it is fair and proper that we say to the listeners out there, you are not mistaken. This is not the replay. We are not playing the program that we did last week. When we started the program, we said the feedback suggested that there was a need to revisit this topic because of its complications, its implications, because of the problems presented by this informal encroachment.
Yeah.
So if we are sitting there at home and say, no, man, Justice last week was discussing the same matter, maybe they are reflecting that.
Yes, what we are trying to do, we are trying to emphasize the dangers of residing or staying, building a home or any other structure on Rand Water's servitude. So this is a very important topic, and which is why as Rand Water we've decided to come here every Wednesday and educate our people about the dangers of staying on Rand Water's servitude. And one other thing that I wanted to say, you see, when someone has resided or has built their homes on Rand Water's servitude, we do not know when the pipeline or the pipe is going to burst. Rand Water inally its own scheduled maintenance and replacement a program to replace the worn-out pipelines, and but sometimes a pipe can burst. We tend to react, and by the time we react, you find that maybe it's chaos. The damage has already been done, which is why we try by all means to ensure that we educate our own people, about the dangers of residing on Rand Water servitude or on pieces of land where one is not even sure haba sure ya hore ho na le eng ka mo tlase.
It's a very, very good intervention that you're doing. I must say that up front. But I'm imagining the gravity of the problems we are confronted with. You see, from time to time, we see people invading a piece of land. Even the people that are responsible to prevent that do not necessarily have the capacity to say to the people, by tomorrow we don't want you here, for a number of reasons. Now, as Rand Water, can you try and share with us the kinds of problems you are confronted with when you wake up tomorrow and see multitudes of people having invaded a piece of land where there's encroachment? The first thing you do, what is it?
Oba we mamorena as Rand Water, it has to be clear right from the beginning that, as I said in my introduction, that we don't have pieces of land moile horeng rekaisa batho. It's difficult. Sometimes we wake up in the morning, or we find that a servitude has been invaded by homeless people. So iba retomaka a process ya u discuss the matter le the respective municipality more batho ba batla ba dula hona. Rand Water inali a pipeline network ya 3,500 kilometers, and irana from Mo Gauteng ya Mpumalanga ya Northwest, Free State, and around Gauteng. So it's difficult for us to monitor and who check out all every corner or every inch or every kilometer of our pipelines. But if then we retoma who negotiate le masipala, community leaders, the civic organizations, and the councillors, and the municipalities. We also discuss this matter with COGTA, and from provincial level, the MECs from those provinces where we provide water.
You are still tuned to our special broadcast brought to you by Rainwater. Every Wednesday, we hope to be with you until next year. You see, these programs, they seek to heighten our understanding regarding how this very, very critical entity is trying to make sure and ensure that you do have water and your water is clean. So it is very, very important that you play your part, because if you don't, possibility exists that you might not have water in a given area. And now, last week in Data Justice, you spoke about beacons. You spoke about beacons. Tell the listeners once again, what are these?
Thanks very much. Beacons are rectangular blue cement blocks which are placed on the side of the road. We have blue beacons and we have white ones. The blue ones indicate the servitude. When we have negotiated a servitude, you'll find that there are 3 beacons that go parallel. And the 2 beacons which are blue on the side indicate the end of the servitude. The white one is always in the middle, and that one indicates that there's a pipeline there. There's a pipeline. So beacons are blue and white. The other ones are rectangular in shape, and they indicate the servitude. That the servitude, Rainwater servitude, ends up here, and in the middle there will be a white one. That white one shows that there's a pipeline that runs underground.
In Data Justice, without having to assume, you are using a very colorful concept, servitude. You know it, Linda knows it, Pule knows it, Lennox might know it. Thousands of the people who are listening out there might not know. Explain it in the way that a 3-year-old would understand. When you talk of servitudes, what are you talking about?
A servitude, it's a limited real right. A servitude, for instance, how we nale a farm, and rena as Rainwater or to lay a pipe. A loro itlo supplier medzi to other communities, like for instance in Mpumalanga, and ukrailo hore harebea pipeline. If ita di jarata zabatu, if ita the farms, if ita land owned by private people. So what we do, harare servitude, rea mo who the owners za the land moilo horeng, the pipeline will have to pass through. Where we have to lay the pipeline, we negotiate space sa hore re kgone o layer the pipeline, and that space ke sona re se bitsang hore it's a servitude. A servitude ke a right if you want motho hore I enjoy the use of a piece of land. So that's what we call a servitude.
Well,
it's a limited real right in the sense that if I have to ask a servitude from a farm owner, I only enjoy the right to use that piece of land. That maybe if it's 10 meters, it's only 10 meters that I'm going to enjoy. The servitude, it's a right, but not a full right.
Okay. The number to interact with justice at this point in time is 0800 142 446. I know you're looking for the pen right now. The number once again is 0800 142 446. Data Justice, let's try and exhaust this beacon and servitude tonight. Here's a space of land as big as Tshwane, or let's say CBD area here in Tshwane. This space is about to be invaded because people want to build informal structures. And we know in this space there are pipes somewhere there. How many roughly in the space as big as Tshwane would you have these beacons? How many beacons will be there that will say to people, don't build here, don't build there, don't build there?
It will be difficult, Lennox. I must say quite clearly, it will be difficult because it depends on the pipelines. You know, there's a network of pipelines, so they are very visible. I must tell the listeners that these beacons are very visible. As I said, they are bluish in color and white, and in most cases on the side or in an open field. When you see them, you must know where there's a pipeline there. To say in Tshwane we have so many beacons, it will be difficult for me. As I'm saying, there's a network of beacons. Remember, it's not only us who have pipelines, and even the municipalities have their own pipeline networks. So again, the exact number in Tshwane.
Obviously, Rainwater is not going to spend the kind of investment that you have dispensed for these kinds of interactions. You are doing this because obviously these encroachments have a serious problem that they cause. Do you want to share with us the kinds of problems that this presents?
Thank you.
Maybe before, I don't know for how long these two callers have been on air. Let's give them an opportunity. Let's go to Middlelands in Soweto. Linda has a question. Linda, after you, we're going to Thabo in Tshwane. Linda, in that order, you are on air.
Yebo. Njani wa?
Akuyalunga kunjani but Linda?
Ngiyaphila ba. Ngithi khulunywa ngalezo mthetho.
Ezomkhetho. Okay, masive ukuthi question yakho andikakutholi kahle. What is your question, Dad?
Kusho ukuthi ngeke kwenzeka ukuthi manje ngicabana nomuntu ngamagama nje. Wahamba umuntu lona wafika lapana angazi ke ufike wathini bafika bayangibopha.
Okay. Bona Putlinda. When you are dealing about a program besinayo izolo ye justice. I know sine number yakho. After this program, we will call you and try and listen to what you have to say so that we can redirect sikuthumele kusambothi ozokunceda. Today sikhuluma nge-rainwater program, encroachment, meaning that laba bantu ba builder on top of ama pipelines wamanzi. Sikhuluma ngayo le ndaba namhlanje. Asikhulumi nge-justice. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much for your call. Let's go to Thabo in Atteridgeville. Thabo.
Hello, Ntate Lennox.
Hi, how are you, Thabo?
Agenda de Raleboga.
Raleboga ke phone ke le mo Atteridgeville. A ke go bontisa go gae baagile mo gaufi le mo reservoir. A go ne le reservoir mo gaufi le mo raagile mo teng. And then go pa go botsa go se itse go mo re ntse mo teng for a go gona ga lore maybe pipe ka basta ka mo reservoir and then ra affecta ke metao. And then second question is ba tlang go ditisa gore a re tsenya a go ne di security ka mo reservoir so go ne di criminals ga ntsi ba nna mo reservoir ya teng mo gaufi le mo re nna mo teng.
Thank you very much, Ntate Thabo. We got your question, and Ntate Justice is going to respond. But before Ntate Justice, There's another caller from Centurion in my neighborhood. The name is Lee. Lee, you are online.
Hi, how are you?
Great, how are you, Lee?
Good, thank you. I just need to ask you two questions, actually, and maybe you can answer it. How come new shopping centres are being built all over Centurion, all over South Africa, actually, well, more Gauteng? Where's the water coming from?
Wow.
When there's a shortage of water, where are you guys getting the water from?
Wow. Okay.
That's my first question. My second question, which I don't know can be answered, is that electricity. I drive around all over Gauteng, and there's some streets that have got no lights, but buildings are popping up left, right, and centre. Where are you guys getting the electricity for that? Are you taking the electricity from the street lights, or are you taking it from the residents that are in pitch darkness?
Okay. My sister, Miss Lee, very, 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 very pertinent questions. But unfortunately, the one that deals with electricity will make sure that we get your numbers. In fact, we do have your numbers. We will take it to the appropriate department. I'm sure they will contact you. Even if they call you and explain this, we'll find a way of sharing that response to the rest of the South Africans, because much as it is your question, there's so many people who are wondering exactly the same question. Let me.
Thanks very much, Lily. As Rand Water, we abstract water from the Valdem. We purify it up to drinkable standards, highest drinkable standards, and from there we supply the potable, clean water to municipalities. And municipalities are the ones that provide residents and these other businesses with water. We sell bulk to municipalities, some industries, and some mines. So yes.
Just there, Justice. I know last week you spoke about supplying municipalities with potable water. What would come to mind to people? You supply municipalities with bottled water, because that will be a potable water in the way that an ordinary people would understand potable. What do you mean by supplying potable water to municipality?
No, we supply bulk water. After we purified, after we cleaned, we supply bulk to municipalities. Then municipalities are the ones who supply you as a resident and government buildings and other structures. So, but with us, we supply as bulk to municipalities. Good. We clean, we supply bulk to municipalities, and municipalities know which, like for instance, when you see your municipal account, it doesn't say Rand Water. It says maybe the city of Tshwane if someone is in Tshwane, Ekurhuleni if someone is in Ekurhuleni, and Johannesburg if someone is in Johannesburg.
There you are, Ms. Lee, meaning that the people that will be in the better position to respond to the question, where are these people getting the water? It will be our municipality. Rand Water has given them the water, yes, and they decide where they take this water. Yeah. Obviously, it's a very pertinent question. We're not going to rest until Lee and everybody has that response. Now let's go to Thabo. Let's go to Thabo in Atteridgeville.
Okay. Yeah. Thabo, thanks so much for your question. The way ke tsebanga hona the reservoirs di agilwe ke batho ba tsebang bana le what we call expertise, the engineers, and ba di agilwe ka bokgoni le bokhwari, and di dile haholo. Ha ke tsebe hore di na le lifespan. the reservoirs di na le lifespan, and ha lifespan ya hona e tla bofelong, surely batlo di replace the reservoirs so that the skates are bester and any problems. When it comes to security, we monitor our pipeline network. As I said, as Rand Water na le 3,500 network. Pipeline network. So re leka go di monitor in case of this illegal occupation of land, and how le jwalo ha re ka e bona isa le ka pela, then we can take action. We can stop them from continuing with the occupation of that land.
There you are, Ntate Thabo. There you are, Ntate Thabo. Then you are very, very sorry, man. We dropped your call. Apparently, Danny is there. Danny, sorry for taking so much time. And Miss Lee, we know you are there. Let's just give Danny an opportunity to ask that question immediately after Danny. We're coming back to Miss Lee. Please don't drop that line. Danny, you're online.
Marana dumelang le ka.
Umunati go jwang Ntate Danny?
Go
monate bile o phele. Nna ke ka tla sa masepala wa MTN o kolota ngwana bulk water ina ya to you then water mo.
Or Emfuleni. Okay.
Ke ke phone ke le kwa sa mo mana tshanga tele. So
okay.
Ke kolota. Ona tsena ntsere bona ka hara sabili ka manga. Ona le ona ntsena ya hore metsi now. Shorta ha sa anela batho ka ona ka mo ine wiki batho ba tsena metsi. So ke botsa hore na rainwater e ka kgona hore e supply direct to the consumers kapa bona di-residents. And then again, ha le re da stop batho ba etsang bankang lefatshe illegally. And then khoso hantle ntse le thola mo na le thola hore ke batho ba mo ba iperang kapa khoso ke masepala na o bana kapa mmuso me re tholang hore na batho ba ha ba mo because bana le matlo. They go there because of bankna matlo me ba bona hore it's an open field mo ha ona next ntena tsare ke go la intele plus pele na next ka ona ka mo. Then lona ha le ba bona be le tsota lo re ba tse. Then ke batla o tlo hore ha le re tsoba tlosa now re thola hore the di flags tsa lona hore pipe matamo. So na ke fika ha ke di bula pipe. Ke dula ka thoko ka mona ke gola 2 meter or 5 meter away from that pipe. Na batho be re ba tlosa ke batho ba dilang ka ile di tsa rainwater.
Okay. Thank you very, very, very much, Ntate Danny. Let's go to Lee. Lee has a follow-up question. Lee, you are on air.
Yes, sorry, sir. I just need to ask another thing. You said that you had these portable water tanks going all over the various areas. I have never seen one. All right, there was a couple of schools before, before the term ended last term, where the schools didn't have water for 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, Lee, we'll try and respond or explain the concept of portable water supplied by rainwater. Please listen. Which radio are you listening, Miss Lee?
103 Impact.
Oh, my Impact, my favorite stations. In fact, I know people are going to think I'm lying. Every station is my favorite station. At this point, listen to the radio. Can we go and visit Panka, who's from West Rand? Panka, you're on air.
Hey, how are you, my chief?
Very fine. Thank you, sir, man. How are you?
No, I'm well, my chief, Mr. Atlas.
Thank you, sir. Hit Ntate Justice with a question.
No, I wanted to greet Mr. Mohale and then also to say I'm glad that they are actually enlightening us because I'm now aware of the bacons that are on the street.
Yeah.
I saw them when I was going to Johannesburg from Pick n Pay in Serena up until Johannesburg, Victoria. But the servitude that you were talking about, then my question is that ESCOM has experienced a problem with anybody in terms of
erecting their pipes over their area. Has the ESCOM ever, what you call rainwater, experienced any problem in terms of servitude, in terms of utilizing somebody's space?
Okay. Thank you very much, Ntate Parker. Listen to your favorite radio station. Tate Justice, let's revisit the questions. Let's the easy one. Let's start with Ms. Lee.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Lily. For clarity, I said we provide bulk water to municipalities, and when it comes to the issue of water tanks, it's not us as rainwater. We purify, we provide municipalities with bulk, and municipalities are the ones that distribute water. And how they distribute, they have their own program when it comes to that. Thanks very much, Ntate Paga, for commending us on this, and I'm glad Baba Telits Barona ba khona go ba associate ba khona go bona dintho tsa re bolla ha re bolla ka di beacons or hona le beacons ka mothoko a tsela. Some of our experiences when it comes to the beacons tsena and servitude, that the paga botata ke hore some pieces of land owned by municipalities, or so let me say the government, and some by the private owners. First, we have to establish who are the owners of that piece of land. If it's the government, then we go and negotiate with the relevant department. And if it's private owners, we go and negotiate with them. We explain to them the importance of this, and sometimes we may say we want to negotiate for about 10 meters wide servitude. And you find that the owners say, no, we can only offer you 4 meters. So those are some of the challenges. Sometimes you find that there's no way. We want the pipeline to go through in a certain way, and you find that the owners refuse. And in that case, let's say the owners refuse and it's an open piece of land. What we can do, we can start discussing or negotiating with the government, and formal legal processes may follow, and we may end up, government may end up helping us in terms of expropriating that little piece of land. So that we can pass, we can lay the pipes and provide people with water. Remember, our constitution also talks about expropriation of land if it's in the interest of the public. So providing water to people on the other side, it's of interest. It's of public interest. So the government will always help us. Yeah.
I love the sound of that. Part of what Danny raised, if you remember, whether it is possible for you to supply the water directly to the consumers, because they've been without water, or you were still coming.
I was still coming to that.
Let's hit that one.
Thanks, Danny, for this question. Yes. Has Gibolezi Ndate Danny, Rena rent water, re purifier, re provide the maspala, refadi maspala meti, and the maspala the falena, the rexeta lena, or regerena as residents, the rexeta metiao. And in terms of the fees, or it's a mayuang ke municipality it will decide on who rexeta bato yuang meti. And that the other question was about you were saying who is to blame. Why it's a rena as rent water? Hare blame batobana. Hare blame batobana badulang on those pieces of land. What we are trying to do only, we are trying to educate them about the dangers. We are trying to educate them about the dangers that hudula more on the servitude, or in case of a pipe burst. These are some of the things that can happen. Rezama highlighter ruta batho ka di dangers ka di dangers tsa go dula mo di pipelining tsa rainwater, because metsi a leng mo ke metsi a mangata, and by the time re realize or re thola information ya hore o na le a best pipe somewhere, the damage maybe would have been done, and maybe batho ba bang ba tla ba lositse bophelo. So that's what we are trying to prevent. The other question was about the meters. Ntate Teni o boletse ka 2 meters away from the beacon. Legally we say our servitude diba between 6 and 42. Sorry, excuse me. The servitude Zaranadiba between 6 and 42 meters. We don't, even if there is 6, we don't encourage people who are badule mo haufi, but okay, this is a beacon, and so which means away from this beacon I can build. But I encourage about more. It's still dangerous. The servitude Zaranadi range from 6 meters to 42. But Hare encourageable to Harere because somewhere six depending on the pipeline, the size of the pipeline. No, it's very dangerous because in case of a burst, if the pipe burst, so the damage may be really enormous. We are trying by all means to prevent that.
Okay, at some point, listeners, what we're going to do, we know you are unable to call right now. You are unable to call right now because when I'm looking at our telephone lines, they are flicking like nobody's business. But we do not want to take the callers for the sake of taking the callers. We are going to give you a call center number that you can use should you want to engage Rand Water for any other reason. We will give you that number, and Data Justice has that number. We will give you that number so that you can interact. Data Justice, before Miss Lee called us, you were about to respond on the implications or the problems presented by this encroachment. Can you lay these problems down so that people do not only understand the problems, but they stay away from these tendencies?
Thank you very much. This encroachment, how does it affect Rand Water's day-to-day running of the business? Ngari ere affecta gamokhon. It's difficult sometimes. How ka kry le hore batho ba agile in cases where people have built their homes. And remember, in most cases, they are not properly placed, and there are no roads, and it's difficult for us to access our pipelines, either to replace or to replace the pipelines or to maintain them. And sometimes some pipelines have been vandalized by some people who may be staying closer to our pipelines, and sometimes you find that some of our pipelines have been tampered with, and as a result, that may lead to theft of water. Sometimes it's also difficult here affect in the sense hore harinyaga to lay the pipes babang ba to ba hana hutswa mo and ever hana hutswa, then we must start with the process to negotiate the community leaders, councillors, and the respective municipalities in those areas of supply. And sometimes how we nally a new development somewhere in our areas of supply, renyaga hore a new pipeline to supply certain municipalities, you find that it's going to be difficult for us because udutsi batu more on our way where we have servitude. So that's how it in general affects it affects our operations.
Toll-free number 0800 142 446. You have something like 15 minutes to share your questions, your inputs, your opinions with Ntate Justice. We know you won't be asking that question for yourself, but for multitudes of the listeners who are there. Ntate Justice, much as your entity, Rand Water, is assisting community radio stations by way of injection the necessary money for them to sustain themselves. Let me tell you what else we are doing for the stations. You see, together with the stations, Ntate Justice, we are able to sustain public confidence, in the stations for facilitating programs like this. These are unmediated programs where people from all over Gauteng are able to call and ask questions that seeks to empower them so that tomorrow they can talk intelligently about these things. You see, Ntate Justice, we need one another.
Yes.
For us to create this kind of vision, a dream of the National Development Plan, to demonstrate that our government cares.
So yes, I agree with you there. Unale, a very important issue that we have to touch on before we end this. That's in regard to the challenges that we are facing. Let's say we are laying new pipes. Sometimes it's difficult for Rona as Rand Water who negotiate with the private landowners, and how the difficult jalo re tshwanetse thoma ka ditirelo tse la re reng ke tsa just molao mo ile ho reng re lo thoma who negotiate the lawyer they were involved tsa rona tsa Rand Water, and some of the challenges include hore the owners ukreba hana hore fa those the passage or the servitude. And remember, as Rand Water, although we have resources to provide water, you'll find that we don't have enough. And if in case we want to negotiate for a servitude, and you find that someone is blocking, someone refuses to grant us that, we can still reroute that, but it's going to be expensive.
Very expensive.
It's going to be expensive,
yes.
And that money can be used to ensure that we provide water to those people who are in dire need.
Ntate Justice, as we are talking here, so many challenges, are coming into my head. For instance, for the benefit of the listeners, can you try and come with the sense of the nature of challenges we are facing in the process of laying these pipelines?
Yeah, as I was saying, Hore, those are some of the challenges because Rand Water does not own pieces of land. We depend on, as I said, our pipeline network. It's very long, 3,500 kilometers, and our areas of supply, Mpumalanga, Gauteng, parts of Northwest, and the Free State. Along the way, Hore, Honale. Pieces of land that is owned by other people, and some pieces of land you own like a government, some you own like a private owners. I own like a private owners jalo releka who negotiate le bona. And back to that issue, Yari Beacons. Every time they lay a pipeline, immediately lady beacons, so that but bona hore go na le a pipeline mona, and the pipeline ena e tla ba ingwetswe gore the amount of water that is going through that, and the name of that pipeline. So ke ka hore leka by all means to educate our people to say, please, when you see this kind of beacons, please make sure that you stay far away from it, because it's very, very, very much dangerous.
And that Justice, I know it's not often where you are required or you are asked to ask yourself a question and answer it. You are given an opportunity right now to rate yourself, because you see, I'm sitting here right next to you. I don't get the sense you have people there who are not happy about the services that you are rendering. Give me a sense, for all these years that you've been doing what we are doing, what kind of the feedback in terms of the services that you are rendering to you've been getting? Are the people that you are working with happy? And then if yes, how?
Which ones? Because Rona, we supply,
yes,
we deal with water, with municipalities.
Yes.
And here, Lennox, as I was saying, the issue is about encroachment. The issue is about encroachment, and I understand there are some issues that we can put in. We provide municipalities with bulk water, and municipalities are the ones responsible for the distribution of that water. We can say we are happy because we provide them with quality, highest standards of drinkable water. We compete with the best in the world when it comes to the provision of quality water. Surely municipalities di happy ka metsi a re ba providang. Metsi in some areas are shorter because o kry le hore batho ba bangwe ba use haholo, especially a ile hore it's hot, and but rena in terms of our agreement with the municipalities re ba provide metsi, all right, highest drinkable standards, and the volumes of water that we agreed, and we have meters which show how much water have been channeled in each individual municipalities reservoirs. So yeah, I'll say by happy the customers Tarona.
Thank you. We have Denny. Denny, you are back. You are on air with your follow-up question.
Yeah, Marena. Ntate Mohale.
Yeah, agendad.
Ha ke utlwa nkaraba ka tabena ya masipala wa MCD ka tabena ya metsi ya Sibukara location or na. It's more than a week now ka voka section in Shabdilo ho sna metsi. And then it happened to her now. You as rainwater, Empuleni local municipalities over you guys. That whole apparatus, it was last day, if I'm not mistaken, and then that affected our community, or our communities in the past. So now, how na solution le ka se le talo na? It's been a week. Let's see how ka di bua le wena tsena antale yo kara ntho tse di. Then sekolo to se rona jalo ka di resident, rona jalo ka di consumer, ke rona batho ba sa farang ka ofela ka taba tso tsa hore now municipality can make payments to them water. So ntho tseo ke ntho tse re le tlatla le di rarabolla ka tsela le mofuta o jwang.
Ntate Tene, e tlo ba boima for nna hore ke re o e tla rararollwa jwang ka lebaka la hore nna ke ka mo rent water. As ke boletse pele ke ka mo rent water ha ke ka go masipala. Rena as rent water re purify metsi a le right in terms of our agreement le municipalities including Emfuleni. Re ba romela metsi certain volumes of water to their reservoirs, and ke bona ile horeng ba tseba hore metsi a ya kae and which areas tse di senang metsi. Sometimes o tla kry-a le gore area ha ena metsi because there was a burst pipe at the municipal side. They're busy fixing it, and maybe azanke ba le jwetsa, and it's not from our side re provider with bulk, and then bona ba bona gore ba dirang ka ona.
Now the percentage last year you reduced it to Mfuleni. After in December we found out Mfuleni is owing rainwater.
Yeah.
So after reducing that pressure you were spending to Mfuleni, that's when the problem started. Some locations like Bo Sebokeng were running out of water out of nowhere. So we understand that it continue and municipality, but now it's affecting us as the community around that municipality. So now are we asking to you or Renota? Yes, we are having communication with them. So we want to know now that communication we're having with them is affecting us. So are there any resolution regarding that, or maybe you're just going to let it be like that?
Yeah. Thank you very, very, very much, Danny. In the beginning, in the beginning of this program, I just want to remind the listeners that we said the topic is encroachment, but we are not rigid. I mean, for a good radio program, we will deal with the topic, but people are confronted with problems and we are likely to have responses. We are not closing the topic on encroachment, data justice.
No,
we're discussing encroachment, but the problems on the ground as raised by Untate Uteni.
Yeah.
And if we're unable to answer Untate Uteni today, I think we need to say that. I don't think it would be proper to say, no, today we're dealing with encroachment, nothing else. Because there's so much you can talk about encroachment.
What we can say, Johor, maybe in that day, I get about the details our kwana. Regarding fitisetsa go home maspala. I think that's what I can say for now.
Okay.
Regarding fitisetsa go maspala. And it's either batlamu contactor or because keep between Maspala residents. Rena mo today rebolla ka encroachment. As you were saying, I saw ka suppress other issues. But the issue, Mona, it's about encroachment because people's lives are at stake, and people's belongings, properties may be damaged. And some people, Baba Dula, more plekete loro by encroacher informally. Habatsebeselo and Batwana ba homeless and harera ba blame as rent water. But we're just trying to highlight highly encroacher on our structure, on our infrastructure. Moilo horo okona wona horo on the beacons. So these are the possible dangers in case of a burst pipe.
Okay, you have less than 4 minutes to ask your question. And that justice, to do justice to this program. We don't want to leave anything. We spoke about informal settlements in as far as encroachment is concerned. We spoke about the beacons. Where are they located? How do you recognize them? And there's a feedback from one of the callers. In fact, thank you. We've seen 1 or 2 of those. We spoke about the effects of this encroachment in as far as your daily operations are concerned. We spoke about the challenges that the Rand Water is facing in the process of laying these pipes. I want to give you an opportunity in the next coming minute or so to address any other issue in as far as the encroachment is concerned.
Yeah, thank you so much. We can't emphasize enough the dangers of this. And what I can say is that we'll keep on, as Rand Water, keep on reminding people, keep on educating them, keep on highlighting the dangers of residing on our servitude. And what we can say is that we have a customer service line that you can. It's an email where those who have problems, they can write to our customer service at randwater.co.za, and those issues will be relayed to us from the communications, and we'll see how we can help. But in time we raise a habe who advise members of the community hore haba dira hore ba maintain good relations with their community leaders and the local councillors, so that haba inale haba sa tsebe hore where they are residing, whether there's a pipeline or not. They must contact their local councillors, and their local councillors will take their will present their plight to the relevant departments in their municipalities, and their issues will be addressed. As I said, we also work with stakeholders, cooperative governance and traditional affairs department. We also work with it, and we work with MECs from those provinces in which we supply water. So rather hore batho ba seke ba fitla ba dula mo ile horeng ha ba sure hore ho na le pipeline, ho ba ona pipeline na ka hore ha e ka balega ha e re botse hape re na le schedule sa di maintainer, sa di replacer the pipeline. Re tseba re tshwantse di replace after how long, and but sometimes it happens that a pipeline bursts, and maphelo a batho can be in danger, and their belongings. And yeah,
as we are saying bye-bye to the listeners, any parting note from you, parting words?
Re tlhakana next week ka Wednesday again. This is going to be a series of interviews where we'll be imparting this information to our communities out there, and we are not, as Rand Water, I must emphasize that we are not blaming people. We are not saying people why should they stay there, but we are trying to highlight that, in case of a pipe burst where they are staying, it can be dangerous, and they may even lose their lives and belongings. Yeah. Thanks so much. Until next week, Wednesday.
On that thanking note, we've come to the end of our special broadcast brought to you by Rand Water. This was the third of the 26 planned episodes. Listeners, like we say, I'm sure you know a child somewhere, when particularly they're at the foundation phase of their schooling, they will tell you, no father, no mother, no daddy, no brother, my teacher did not say this is wrong, this is how it goes. This is the kind of culture we're trying to create with our listeners there. We're trying to build this trust through community radio stations so that they're able to say, no, Rand Water did not say this. If you did not hear this, make a date with them next week on Wednesday. They will repeat this. This is the kind and the pattern that we want to build for these programs, that these listeners wait in anticipation that justice, like you wait in anticipation for your soapy, for a Sibaya or any other program. That Thursday I cannot be late, I want to listen to that program, I want to watch this program. This is the pattern and the culture I want to do with these programs. Until next week, it's Lennox, it's bye for now.